tireless efforts in shaping minds and nurturing souls. You truly do make a difference every day. Thank you for all you do. You're awesome. I'll introduce each player and the teacher they want to recognize and honor. Starting with JV, Lexi Dove is recognizing Mrs. Galkney. Haley Parker is recognizing Mrs. Schiller. Adley Drexler is recognizing Mrs. Schiller. Kendall Burgess is recognizing Mrs. Schaefer. Harper Robinson is recognizing Miss Sims. Cassie Rout is recognizing Mrs. Benton. Julia Campos is recognizing Mr. Lent. Michaela Yaros is recognizing Mr. Kurth. Emily is recognizing Miss Foley. Cam Scott is recognizing Mr. Numador. Aubrey Gillette is with Mrs. Edwards. Kendall Braggington is with Ms. Goodwin. Anna Mateo is recognizing Dan Schroeder. Mackenzie Chapilo is recognizing Mrs. Schiller. Cecilia Council is recognizing Mr. Brown. Ella Grimm is recognizing Miss Cook. Lydia Ogle is recognizing Miss O. Madison Merriman is with Mrs. Cox. Janaya Briggs is with Mr. Naughton. Meredith Donelon is with Mr. Starnes. And Ava Rutkowski is with Mrs. Hall. Your JV team. Here are your varsity team. Ella Charlin is with Mrs. Medina. Amelia Coffin is with Mrs. Check. Sophie Brown is with Mrs. Helmer. Ava Fry is with Mrs. Check. Ella Kenny is with Mrs. Kaspernet. Sadie Burns is with Mr. Bronsma. Kylie Dusenberry is with Mrs. Boonstra. Addison Fisher is with Mrs. Recor. Braylon Myers is with Mrs. Dolphin. Katie Phillips is with Mrs. Phillips. Olivia Naylor is with Mrs. Vanderwall. Jersey Vanderwall is with Mr. Morales. Mallory Hogston is recognizing Mr. Check. Summer Darrow is with Mrs. Bronsma. McKenna Onika is with Mrs. DeRose. Shay Norton is with Mrs. Van Swoel. Lily Hool is with Mr. Lance. Elizabeth Eckerman is with Mr. Peterson. Emma Anderson is with Mrs. Gogan. And Annie Zambon is with Mr. Peterson as well. In addition to the teachers being recognized out on the field, if there are any teachers, regardless of which school district you teach in, if you could stand and be recognized for a moment. Teachers, thank you for everything that you do. Your effort is appreciated.
All right, well, that was Teacher Appreciation Night here at Sailor Stadium. We will come back to you in just a moment.
We will start with introducing our visiting team. Number 1, Christian Watson. Number 2, Demetriana Hatcher. Number 4, Kylie Gathers. Number 5, Dayanara Dedeos. Number 6, Julissa Zunika. Number 7, Sierra Buchanan. Number 8, Evelyn Frias. Number 9, Aaliyah Winston. Number 10, Tania Keys. Number 11, Kennedy.
0-11-1, 0-7-0 in the conference. So, you know, not sure exactly, what type of game we're going to have tonight. But when we played Muskegon earlier this year, we ended up with a 10-0 victory. So we might see something like that again tonight.
So, Dave, fill us in a little bit. You and I were talking pre-game a little bit. If a game gets out of hand, like football, you have 35-point rule, second half, running clock. If it's a little more, the clock never stops. Basketball, 35, running clock. What do we have for soccer?
So for soccer, there is what they call a mercy rule, and it is when you are up by 8 goals, but you have to play a half of soccer. So for example, last time we played, that's why it was 10-0. That was the score of the half. So very possible we might have something like that again tonight.
Okay, all right. Well, it's a special night, too, here. It was, Teacher Appreciation Night?
Yes.
That is correct.
Yeah, so that was pretty good.
Let's take a minute to listen to the team introductions
All
here
right.
now.
Sounds good, thank you.
Number 7, Kendall Burgess. Number 8, Harper Robinson. Number 9, Sophie Brown. Number 10, Ava Fry. Number 11, Shay Norden. Number 12, Lily Houle. Number 13 gets a shout out. It's her birthday today. Ella Sarlin. Happy birthday, Ella. Number 14, Elizabeth Eckerman. Number 16, Ella Kinney. Number 17, Amelia Crawford. Number 18, Sadie Burns. Number 19, Emma Anderson. Number 20, Kylie Dusenberry.
Did they announce
Number
our
21, Addison Fisher.
Okay.
So
Number 22,
right now for the
Annie
showers.
Zambon. Number 23, Braylon Meyer. Number 24, Katie Phillips. Number 25, Olivia Naylor. The Sailors are coached by Dylan Darga and assisted by
This is interesting. So they announce they do the same thing in lacrosse, too, I noticed. But these are the if I remember right, these are the 2 sports that announce every player. They don't do it for football, which is nice.
Yep, no, I agree with you 100%. I mean,
We're going to take a quick break as we listen to the national anthem.
Leah Baldwin to sing our national anthem tonight.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
No better song out there than the
Thank you, Dale.
National.
Well done. Outcome.
No better song out there. I want to welcome everyone back. This is Sailor Nation Sports coming to you from the soccer complex on the beautiful campus of Mona Shores High School. We got a change here, kids. We've got Kimmin, the best in the business. He's over here on the north side. Where's Joe?
Joe is directly under the booth on the sideline.
Okay, Joe
So.
Jew is there. We've got Ken Cohen running the board, which will do a great job. To my right is Dave. I'm Nick Dammit. We're going to have some fun right now. So the Sailors come in ranked, depending what you look at, 18 in one poll, 12 in the other poll. They come in with a record of 13, 2, and 2. Dave, is this the best start that Shores has had in a while for girls?
I think it is. I just going back a couple of years, I don't remember really before that, but
Sure.
Great start. And you think about like in the conference, 6 wins, 0 losses, 1 tie. Great start to the season. Strong conference play. As a reminder, this is our quarter. It is a quarterfinal for the OK Green end of the year tournament.
Oh,
so
it is.
It is a quarterfinal. So
Okay.
This is the first game of the tournament, but it'll be nice to see the Sailors get a good, strong start. The only thing that I kind of am curious about is if Coach is going to switch up the lineups a little bit, knowing that he's playing Muskegon. And no disrespect to Muskegon.
Yeah, it actually looks like the starting lineup is significantly different than normal. Some of the key players are still out there, but some of the younger players and players who aren't getting a lot of time in the other games are out there to start. So that's always good to see, especially come playoffs. If someone needs to get called on, getting them that time and those reps is important.
Yep. Nothing better than actual playing time.
No, you're absolutely correct. A couple of changes we see is Summer Darrow looks like she's into the starting lineup, as well as Sadie Burns.
Hey,
and then
Dave,
going a little deeper.
when you played Muskegon the first time, it was at Muskegon?
No, I believe it was here at Mona Shores.
It was, because I wondered where they used to play at the old Nelson Junior High School.
Yeah, I say I'm not really sure.
Yeah, no
where they
worries.
play, but I am positive it was here at home.
Okay. No, Dave, I believe you, buddy.
Oh, good. So what we're seeing already is a little streak down the side. That's Summer Darrow crossing towards the middle.
Nicely defended, though, by the Big Reds.
Absolutely, and they will most likely play a lot of defense tonight, as I would assume that the ball is going to stay on their half for the majority of the game. But, and of course of course Mona Shores, where I was going, I got ahead of myself. Mona Shores is coming off a very tough game earlier this week against Spring Lake.
Oh, did they? Yeah.
Yep, ended in a 0-0 tie, but, Spring Lake is, according to the coaches poll, #1 in Division II.
Yeah.
They are.
Absolutely.
Now, is Shores in Division I then, I take it?
Yes,
Okay.
they're in Division I.
All right. Who's ranked in Division I then? I mean,
Let's go back through. So Hudsonville right now is the #1 team, according to the coaches poll.
okay, big school.
Yes, and you go through it. It's Hudsonville, and then Ann Arbor, Skyline, Troy, Saline.
So the first 4 schools are schools over 2,000 kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dow's our size. Heartland's our size. Heartland's really good in lacrosse. We covered a semifinal game last year.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I was not there for that game, but I've
okay,
heard plenty from those players about that game and how
was
heartbreaking
brutal.
it was.
Well, not only was it was heartbreaking because it was brutal.
Yeah,
It was literally brutal.
Absolutely. But no, Shores is off to a great start. And not just that, but realistically, I have to give them credit because, to be honest, our division is not the strongest. Shores really went out and scheduled some competition in non-conference games.
Oh, that's good.
They played Spring Lake, they played Salem, they played Berkeley, they played a couple. They played Hudsonville Unity. Hudsonville Unity Christian. They really went out and scheduled some teams to challenge them, which is fantastic.
No, I was looking at our football schedule for this coming year. Every team we play made the playoffs, 2 won state championships. So, yeah. And
Well, you know,
you got to see how good you are.
You do.
And in order to do that, you got to play the best. That's the bottom line.
as one of my heroes from childhood, Ric Flair, would say, you know, to be the man, you got to beat the man.
That's right. So you and Ric Flair are pretty tight, huh?
Yeah, we are pretty tight.
Oh, that's
so,
good, yeah.
Great guy, whole lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet he is. I'm not going to mess with you because you'll probably call Rick on me. Yo, Rick, I got a problem here. Can you take care of this Greek guy?
Nah, I couldn't do that to
There
you.
you go, buddy. Thank you very much. We got 36-57 counting down here in the first period. How many periods, Dave?
2.
We got 2. Yes, we do. Oh, it was shot on goal.
good
Nicely
save.
defended. Oh, it's
And-
open. There we go. The left foot going to the left side.
Yep, the left foot from, I think, Shea Norton.
Okay.
We can,
Let me tell you, kid,
take another look
the
at that as
girl
well.
is a dominant player.
yeah.
So what you're seeing here is, we have an initial stop by the keeper. Shea flips it with her back foot and
Yeah.
right into the goal.
That was
Well,
a nice
well
assist. That was a nice assist by the young lady as well, too,
Absolutely.
to get the shot. So say there's go up 1-0, 36-44 coming down here in the opening period. Here we're at the complex on a beautiful campus of Mona Shores High School. And, boy, you look at the grass here. Boy, it's really chunked up in some areas, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say it is a little beat up, but you know, the grass is almost still coming in because there's
Yeah.
times like I'll be watching a game and you can still see sand getting kicked up by some of the girls as they run.
And we've had a lot of rain. I mean, we've had rain and they've practiced a little bit, and it's
Yeah,
tough.
Absolutely, and we did just have a JV game completed.
Yep.
That was a really good ball in.
Oh, yeah.
That's from that position. That's what we call a pomo ball, which is position of most optimal scoring. So it's where you cut in on the goal line and you play a ball almost backwards towards your own net, and so that your players can run in on it, scoring around the 6-yard
Really?
box. It's one of the
Really?
most successful passes to lead to scoring.
You know what I like about this broadcast? I have 2 experts next to me. I'm just going to chat and ask questions. I've got the active young one here, King Cohen over here, and Dave Fouché that just knows that. Oh, left foot right there, nicely defended.
So
Boy, you kind of see the big ones are playing some defense.
yeah, they're definitely packed in on defense right now. I mean, they've got one girl just outside the 18 to try to give them an opportunity, but you know what I do like is it looks like Shores is going for it tonight. And
Yeah.
you know, now we've got Addison Fisher lining up for a corner, and she's going to probably put that ball right in towards the middle.
Yep, nice high.
Oh, in and out of the keeper's hands. And she
Oh, nicely done. So, in soccer, gentlemen, and I'm going to refer to both of you here, are you allowed to have all of your players on your opponent's side, or are you limited on how many can cross this half-court line?
There is no limit. So
There is
you
no
could
limit.
pull everyone up.
Yeah.
So,
Well-
for example, as we're making a run here, if Shores
Right.
really wanted, they could even have our goalie jersey brought up and inside their
Well,
half.
I look at everybody right here. There's one person near the,
Yeah.
right in the middle of the field. Shot. Oh,
Oh,
just
just
goes
over
over the top of the net right there, the goal.
But Nick, another, I mean, great question, because I do know if you've been following lacrosse quite a bit, there's certain restrictions on,
Mm-hmm. Right.
on how many players can cut.
Hockey as well. Hockey's really limited as well, too.
So Muskegon's lining up for their kick. We'll see if Shores can possibly bring it down for a quick attacking chance.
Looks like Addison's going to get on that.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a good win.
Yep, over to Sadie Burns. Let's see. And she puts it towards the middle.
Finds Shea at the top of the box. Addison gets her shot blocked.
Are we senior heavy gentlemen with this team, or is there a nice mix of age groups here? Senior, juniors, any sophomore, freshman up?
Great question. I didn't write down who was what, but if I really kind of look through it, we do have a good mix.
Sure.
And yes, there's some people that we're going to desperately miss. Shea Norton, Jersey and goal. We're going to miss Lily Houle, Mallory Hodgson on defense. Oh, I'm sorry. Just had a goal scored there, too,
We
from the
can
outside.
take another look at that.
Excellent. So Ella Kinney, looks like she had a pass
To Mal.
to Mallory. And
Annie
then
Zambon. is able to
Oh,
put that.
nice.
Zambon in for a goal. Good for her. And she usually doesn't
Far
play,
right-hand corner right there.
and he doesn't typically play very very high in the attacking piece. She's usually from my recollection, plays more defense, but
Yeah.
did fantastic there.
Yeah, that was a very well-placed shot.
33-21
And
counting down here. Sailors up 2-0, guys.
to add to what you're saying, Dave, there definitely is a good mix of players, but there's also a lot of seniors as well.
Is there?
There's a good number of seniors.
Okay.
But our junior class is also very large. So next year,
So talented as well, I'm assuming.
yes,
Yeah.
some of the best players on the team are juniors.
Okay.
Ella Kinney, Ava Fry, Addison Fisher, and a lot of them have played multiple years on varsity. So it's
I was looking at some of the lacrosse scores of the boys, and they're having a tough season. It's going to be a long season. Hockey, conversely, had a long season.
Yeah.
Last year's senior group was extremely talented. You know, lacrosse goes to the semifinals. Hockey goes for a long way. Eventually, it'll come around again, but you know, there's going to be some bloodshed here, and it's going to be this year, and you're seeing it with the sports. The girls here, with being state ranked, next year could be a lean year, but again, these juniors are going to step up. And
the juniors are going to step up, and not just that, but we still have a pretty strong junior varsity
Yeah.
program. And right now, there's 2 freshmen that have been pulled up for the remainder of the year.
Okay.
I hope I'm getting the first name right on one of them, Kendall Burgess, and then Harper Robinson. So, you know, there is talent coming up through the system. So you know, that's been one of the great things about Shores, at least since I've been watching girls soccer, is they just seem to be able to reload every
year after year.
And I think they do the coaching staff does a really good job of looking at their players who are on varsity and JV and saying this player is going to be important for us in the future, so we're going to get them reps and time and pull them up for games here. Because I know a lot of the juniors have played more than just, like, this isn't their first year on varsity.
Okay,
They've
so question
played
then,
multiple
Cohen.
years.
Dave and Cohen, then, do they have tryouts for kids? So let's just say you keep, 20 kids just for numbers, and 45 to say, you know, I'm going to play soccer this year. I'm going to go out for soccer. Do you have tryouts?
There are tryouts at the beginning of the season. So, and that's kind of, you know, with girls soccer, it's kind of tough because it's like they go from tryouts and then their first game is usually within a week.
Yeah.
Really?
It is very compact.
It's tough. Especially not having time, like with the winter, not a lot of time to actually play outside at all. So.
Oh, good ball by Ella Kinney.
Going for the header right there.
You know, that is to me, being able to head the ball is the one thing that's in soccer that is unique, in my opinion, one of the harder things to do, to be able to time it perfectly.
Agreed. Not only time it, but direct it to where you want it to go off your head.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, my goodness. I think the hardest thing for never playing soccer is not having my hands out there wanting to touch the ball all the time. There's a kick. Oh!
Strong shot by Mallory Hoxton. So, and you know what? Nice to see her getting involved in the offense.
Yeah.
She plays center back on defense, and that's always where she is. So nice to see her get a couple opportunities, and looks like we got a changing of the guard coming. A large sub here.
Platoon style.
Yeah, that's a good term for it. And it looks like almost a full. I'm just kind of looking around, and it looks like pretty much a full switch over.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So I'm going to try to blend in here another scenario tied in with hockey. You know, hockey's every 30, 40 seconds. You know, we're throwing bodies in and out like that. How does soccer work?
You know, soccer, usually you see subbing individual or 2 players at a time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily, depend on the amount of time. It's usually about when they get tired and in key positions. Because usually, somebody like Shay Norton, who goes kind of from 18 to 18 on the field.
Sure.
You know, she expends a lot of energy. She might need a sub sooner than...
Correct, depending on how much yardage they're logging during the course of a period of time.
Absolutely. So tonight, what we might be seeing is, you know, just the larger subbing, kind of that platoon style, just to kind of, you know, keep all the players engaged and playing.
And the way the game is going right now, Dave, and you called it very well, all the action is down here on the south side of the field. This would be a really good time, being up 2-0, a couple more goals. I'm going to play a lot of my young kids and give them some action right here.
Agree 100%. And, really looking around, we're seeing some kids in different spots. Like right now, I think sophomore Amelia Kaufman is playing center back. She typically plays defense, but what that tells me is that Coach Darga is looking at Amelia to be a big part of next year's team.
Right, right.
Especially losing Mallory Hogston.
And not only that, but if this is a qualifier for postseason stuff, do you really want to get your number ones hurt? No. Or injured somewhat, that's going to take away valuable playing time. When you've got good kids and you're graduating a boatload, let's look and see what we got.
Absolutely. So let's kind of see how they're lining up. Looks like we have a corner kick opportunity. And that might be, there we go, freshman Kendall Burgess taking the corner kick for us, number 7. So nice to see her getting a little bit of time with the varsity team.
No, I could be wrong about this. I'm not sure. I wasn't here for the entire JV game. But she may only be able to play one half.
Oh, there's another goal.
Another pop-in goal.
The 3 halves rule.
Okay.
That is correct. And, thank you. I forget about that. My coaching experience came from the travel side. So in the high school, it's a little different. They can play, you've got 2 halves in soccer. They can play 3 halves in one.
In football, there's the 5th quarter rule. In basketball, there's the 5th quarter rule as well. So
yeah, absolutely. So she and I believe Harper Robinson, who I saw in earlier, would both only be able to play the first half tonight.
Okay.
So
but that's
in
valuable,
all
but
likeliness, that's all they're going to be
valuable.
playing tonight anyway.
Yes.
Yeah,
as a
that's
team,
extremely valuable, and that's why Coach Kozak knows that. Hey, he'll tell the head coach, hey, if you're up having, I want to see this kid on the field, and don't play him for a while, and we got to do that. Up 3-0, 27:02 remaining here in the opening period.
And that last goal was scored by Braylon Myers. Sorry we kind of missed it there as we kind of talked through. You've got 3 guys that do like to hear the sound of their own voice on the broadcast. So thanks.
Boy, those guys sound really good to watch.
Absolutely. God, best 3 sounding people around last time I knew. But and just a little compliment there to Amelia Coffin. I like how she's playing that center back position, but putting the ball in a playable spot to her teammates, kind of at their feet. Passing with a purpose. Ball back out in front. Just
goes to the right a little bit. We got athletic director Jack Numador up here, banking a visit here. Got to make sure we're minding our P's and Q's here.
And that was another perfect example of the Pomo ball. Nearly a goal there.
What do you call it?
Pomo.
Promo ball?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Boy, there's some terms that, I'm just going to listen.
I just usually call them
ask
cross,
questions. Just
listen
and ask questions.
I like the Pomo term. Keeper came out. Ball just snuck out there. I call those a cross, but this is one of the things I like. Who actually does know probably more than the 2 of us combined. So, which is fantastic.
I would say Pomo is a specific cross. So it's there's plenty of different crosses, but this one is specifically coming back from the goal line to the 6-yard or PK spot.
Okay, so here's a high kick. They bend and then header. Wide to the right again. Boy, there's 3 great attempts at a goal. All 3 of them going wide to the right.
Though, Mona Shores is getting chances.
Right.
And yes, this lineup is different than the one we see all the time, and he is moving some people around, giving some of the players that don't get a ton of minutes an opportunity to get more tonight. And, I can't disagree with it. This is a chance for them to
show Coach what they got in a number 1 setting right here.
Ball kind of dunking around.
Down and over. But I tell you what, the Big Reds are getting a break, though, with wide to the right, almost like a field goal, wide right. And now the one just goes over the top right here. Eventually, you got to think they're going to be finding the inside of that net.
They'll start falling.
Well, and, and coming into tonight, I did look at the records and look at, so for example, Mona Shores so far this year, coming into tonight, scored 49 goals, 13 goals against. Now let's compare that to Muskegon, who so far this year have scored 2 goals and have had 87 goals scored against them. So that does, once again, another indicator on why we're watching the game we are, with 100% of the action on
down on the south side here on the field. Right, exactly. I mean, there are no players on the north side of the middle of the field.
Now, we have
other than the goalie.
Jersey,
other than the goalie.
Who, if you look at her, she's standing pretty much halfway between midline and the
3/4 of the way up there, right there. God bless that goalie though for Muskegon.
Yeah.
I mean, she's doing a pretty good job with the stops, with the stops that she has had.
Yes,
Hey, Dave.
You look at the 87 goals against, and 87 goals scored on you, but she's at least getting in there and giving effort.
Yep, exactly.
She's not just standing in the middle of the goal.
Dave, do coaches and Cohen? I'm going to ask you this as well. Mm-hmm. Do you guys film your games?
We do. Yep.
You do. The girls, I take it, do as well.
Yes.
Okay. And there's a goal.
Yep, quick goal by Ava Fry, who also this week is the Meyer Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Oh, yes. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
She is a phenomenal student.
Is she?
Yes, she is.
And we're watching the instant replay by that was sponsored by Ryan Rozicki.
Okay.
I had to give him a quick plug. He's my brother-in-law, Nick, so I might be cheating a little bit.
Yeah, kiss up to him, big boy.
Yep,
exactly. Might want to hit him up, too, for a donation to Say the Nation Sports if you want to hear his name, okay? Ryan, did you hear me? Your brother-in-law will be approaching you sometime this weekend. And to just get a donation to Sailor Nation Sports Network.
We look forward to it.
We probably hoping nothing under 500. Okay. I mean, I think you can do that, big fellow. So Sailors up 4-0 right here, 22-37, counting down here in the opening period. Sailors coming in ranked number 12 in one poll, number 18 in the other. Big Reds, unfortunately, have not won a game this year, and they're struggling. But it's a young program, and it's going to get building under athletic director Keith Guy.
Well, and Muskegon does have athletes, just in some of the different sports. For example, I have a daughter that runs track, and I went to their meet against Muskegon, and Muskegon does very well at track and field. And a lot of it is a lot of those football players. Coach Fairfield has all the football players doing track, and a great way to keep them in shape. Well,
Coach Koziak did the same thing. Coach Fairfield has really maintained and really elevated the Big Red football. Head coached 20 years at the JV. Yes, Muskegon, we do have athletes, and it's just a matter of reloading. And there's another goal.
Another goal by Ava Fry, just a quick shot, and instant replay brought to you by Ryan Rozicki at Lake Michigan Credit Union. So if you see that goal, just go right to the side of the keeper.
So every time we mention Ryan's name,
is that like another $500?
Well, I wasn't going to go that high, right? Yeah, you read my mind. I wasn't going to go with the 500 bill, but why don't we do every time we mention Ryan, it's $100?
Well, I'll have that discussion with Ryan. Let me see what I can come up with.
Yeah, why don't you do that? So, Ryan, right now, we've mentioned you twice that we're going to start with. So it's $200 right now, Ryan, okay? Do you think Ryan's watching?
I'm not sure if he is. He's got, boys that play lacrosse and baseball. He's a very busy guy.
Yes, he is. Well, we do live stream baseball and lacrosse as well.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
And I guess if he wants to hear his kid's name, it's going to cost some money here. So we're going to let you, Dave, handle the family. Okay, Dave? You take care of that, Dave.
I'll take care of the family.
Because, Dave, I don't want this to be your last broadcast with us either, okay? I don't want to play that card with you.
Definitely don't want that.
No, because we just love having you. It's just a joy. It's literally a treat for us to have you here.
Thank you. It's always fun.
Truly enjoy it. We had Mark Offerman is going to be joining us sometime for baseball. We had him during a doubleheader.
Now I want to say Amelia did a great job right there. She had a little bit of a bad touch, but she stayed calm and she just played
Yep.
Jersey back. So
Yep.
that's always good.
Oh,
to
wide
see.
open. Oh, just too hard off of her, huh? She couldn't just get that second kick, could she?
Couldn't quite get a good
No,
enough touch
right,
on that
yeah.
ball to bring it down. And that's once again, soccer is a great sport, but you're playing with your feet, which are odd-shaped, with a ball on ground that is not level. So put all those different things together, and it can cause issues. So,
Yes, it could.
Senior Lily Houle bringing the ball down and going back towards the middle,
Out and hits the
hit the post.
vertical post,
Yeah, it will.
so it'll be big red ball out of bounds.
It will
Yep.
be, yes.
Yep.
Also, too, kind of looking at it, the keeper, I'm going to give her some credit. She was in the right position
Yeah,
to make a
yeah.
stop
Yep.
on that ball. And what'd you call this going? Platoon style?
Platoon style.
Got
Yep.
another platoon style
Yeah, yeah.
shift coming up. And, I just want to point out Annie Zambon's now going in at center back for us. She played an extremely great game at Spring Lake earlier this week. Addison Fisher was fighting a little bit of the flu bug, and Spring Lake is very strong in the middle.
Boy, don't they have nice facilities
Oh.
down there with the turf?
Beautiful facilities.
Oh, incredible.
Absolutely. Annie came in and absolutely played spectacular
Oh, that's great.
against a very talented Spring Lake team.
Sure.
So we're
Spring
gonna-
Lake's bringing an indoor practice facility now for football and all sports. That seems to be the new big thing here now.
Yeah, it looks very nice. I mean, they've cleared all the land and they're going to get started on it. It should
Yeah.
be nice.
Yeah, East Kentwood is building a new, good friend of mine, Alex Smith, former D coordinator at Reese Puffer. They're building a new one there. My friend Pat Collins, head coach at West Ottawa, they're building a new one. We just have to find the land so we can get Jack Numador to get us a new one here. I want. Jack's gone right now, but we'll
Well,
touch bases with him.
The soccer complex is still relatively new.
Oh, yeah, it's
4 or
gorgeous.
5 years.
Oh, off the crossbar. See if we can get a
Oh,
rebound.
no, but
and
the-
the rebound.
But on the rebound,
And I think that rebound
Take a look at
was
that.
by Sadie Burns. So, rebound off the top, and Sadie brings it
boy,
down, puts
nice.
it in her left foot.
so off of her knee down, sets herself up for the goal. That's pretty impressive.
And if I was looking at it correctly, it was a goal using her left foot.
Yeah,
which,
so 18:26 here remaining, Settlers up 6-0. Go over that somewhat mercy rule again. What is it?
Absolutely. The mercy rule in soccer is being up by 8, but you do need to play a full half.
Okay, so if the Sailors score 2 more, we still continue with the 18:26 remaining.
That is correct.
And then at halftime, the game would be called.
Correct.
That is
Correct?
right.
Okay.
So, but yeah, neat, like we said, good opportunity. We've got some girls playing that don't always get a ton of minutes. It's great to see.
Ella trying to jump the gun a little bit there.
I saw somebody leaning over.
Yep. Took a couple steps into the middle, had to walk back out.
So Shade Norton bringing it up the side, pass to Katie Phillips. Katie bringing it in. I'm assuming going back towards the middle, and
That's a really good ball.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was a phenomenal.
that was a
Great
ball. I'm
job right
trying to-
there.
Yep, I'm not sure who
We
scored
got
that
the
one.
replay here.
Oh, yeah.
And do you know who that replay is brought to us by?
$300 Ryan Ruzicki, baby. Oh, I see that dollar
That
sign
was
right here.
Somerdero
I
for the
just
goal.
see that right here. $300, Ryan.
Oh, and
You're
that
going to
goal-
make sure you write down this number here,
I'm
too.
writing them
Okay.
down. I
Yes,
mentioned
all right,
it
Ryan.
3
That
times.
$300.
I got 3 little check marks.
Yes, you do, baby.
And that goal was a very well executed.
Yes, it was.
play.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Yeah.
from Shay's pass to Katie into open space, Katie then bringing it down across, just very well done.
Okay.
And Muskegon, we've got a little bit of action on the other side of the field. It looks like Harper Robinson, number 8, stepped up.
Sadie Burns. And number 4, Somerdero.
So the
It
defense
looks like we're having some technical difficulties, so we will come
Oh.
back to you in just a minute.
sounds good.
Are we back?
Now that we have the technical
The
difficulties
technical
figured out,
difficulties along network
we are
line.
back. And they scored 2 goals while we were away, so now they're at the mercy rule threshold. They just have to finish out the half. But the goalie also for Muskegon is down with an injury.
Okay. So Dan Schneider's out there right now.
I know I tell you this
job.
every broadcast. I'm probably going to have to every broadcast from here on out. It's Daniel Schroeder.
Oh, it's Dan Schroeder, right. I don't know why it's Schneider,
Schneider
too.
used to be the owner of the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, Dan Schneider, yeah.
But so we're
Yeah,
seeing
Manny Johnson's part of that group now.
Oh, jeez. So now we're seeing the keeper come off, and while we were off, Shane Norton did have both of the goals. So if I'm writing things down correctly, that is 3 for Shay.
Yeah.
So another hat trick for her.
How many goalies do you usually keep on a team? 2, I'm assuming.
2.
Yeah,
Two.
Typically.
Generally, you have 2 that are keepers and possibly a third that is like your emergency.
Yeah.
keeper.
Yeah,
So-
somebody that can fill in just in case.
Yeah, and generally what that is it's one of your most athletic players.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of putting her into a spot. So
Oftentimes for high school as well, they may pull up a third goalie from JV just in case someone
She's
gets hurt.
hurting.
With the 3 halves rule, even if they play 2 halves, they can still play a third if they need to.
yes.
Now look at Dan coming over. Do you know what sport he did at Oakland? He was a swimmer. God, he's gotten big hitting the
Yeah.
weight suit. Yeah, he's just, say something wrong with him. Just make you hurt, and he won't fix you up. Okay, so we've got a sub goalie in. Does up 8-0? Do you start wholesaling younger players that haven't seen a lot of PT, or do you just keep doing what you're doing?
Well, I think there's a couple things. Number one, you do want to maintain your shutout.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to still play some of your defensive players. This is an opportunity, even maybe for our backup keeper to come in for a while. Get some minutes, but in theory, yes, you would play some of your. You would have to mix and match some of your experienced
Well, you want to
players
keep right, yeah.
with some of your younger ones, but this is that time and that opportunity, especially like I said, was
Have
16,
we
30
literally have we seen the ball cross midfield? I can't remember if we have it
Only
all.
on kickoffs, really.
briefly.
Yeah.
It seems like when it's going backwards, we're almost passing it back
Yeah,
to one of our
yeah.
players.
Right, so
For
we
sure.
really haven't seen Muskegon threaten us at all.
No.
No, right.
So yep, we've got our backup keeper coming in.
Okay.
Which
Everybody
it may
kinda
be,
lined up.
like you were talking about, the most athletic on the team, because that is definitely not a goalie jersey.
No,
Maybe one of those
What our
situations.
keeper's wearing is just a pink penny, differentiating her from the other white jerseys. I give her credit for going in there. That is goalie is a difficult position to play.
For sure. I could not.
A goalie's uniform, or what the goalie wears, differentiates them from the other players on the field.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Like if you look, our broadcast people are going to see her now, but if we look to the other end, we look at Jersey, our goalie, you'll see she has a long sleeve
Right.
top on. And the long sleeve is generally to protect your arms more.
Right,
But you want
and gloves.
Yes, and you want a different color to differentiate yourself from the other teams.
Really? That's interesting. Okay. And she has pink socks on, too. She stands out nicely.
The socks are not a mandatory thing necessarily.
Oh, okay.
More of the jersey, but
More of a fashion level. That's nice.
lots of keeper kits will include an entire different uniform.
What do the boys do? What do your goalies do on the boys team?
For the boys, it's kind of up to them. Our goalies,
okay.
they choose what they want to wear as long as it's different from us.
Well,
Okay.
keeper had the first opportunity and had a really good stop. Addison was putting the ball towards the middle of the net. She came out and just grabbed it right off the top. But, this is where we're seeing, the goalie plays it out right to one of our players, Harper,
Right.
who brings it down. Where we're seeing the difference sometimes in these programs is when the ball goes up in the air, you've got a 50-50 chance, right? Who's going to get the first touch? We've really been dominating that 50-50 ball, getting that first touch comparative to the other team.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Ball coming
We're down to
towards-
15 minutes here in this first period. Sailors comfortably up 9-0. If this score remains 9-0 or goes up, and there's
Oh.
another one. If we keep adding to it, if it's above 8 or above, then we will play 1/2 and 1/2 only.
Yep, we're gonna have to watch the replay on that one. I
I did
see
not
how-
catch that
I
replay,
didn't see
actually.
how. I am not okay. I'm not positive if it was an own goal or if it was brought in by someone else or if it was brought in by Shores.
King Cone, we'll let this one slide, okay? Because we didn't get the replay. How do you get a replay?
It's actually just a button I click, and then I have to bring it up to the broadcast.
Really?
Yeah. So it's not too difficult once you get it set up to do what it's supposed to do.
So can you keep the replay button on like the whole game and just pick and choose, or do you have to figure, well, I'm going to click it? Because
Well, I have to click a button to capture a replay. So either I choose a 10 or a 5-second replay.
Oh, okay.
And it'll take the last 10 or 5 seconds of what was caught on the broadcast, and then it'll display it.
Gotcha. This is why I just talk.
I
It's
agree.
above my pay
That sounded
grade.
like a lot of work.
Yeah, exactly. That's why
And
Cohen
that
does it.
last goal was credited to Ella Kinney. So, and got Katie coming back down, feeding Shea off towards the side. You know, we've been doing very well from that outside in approach here. Now Shea putting the ball back towards middle and
Shot on goal.
shot on goal
Goalie
attempted by
keeps
Mallory
it out.
Hodgson. Keeper did keep it out.
It does look like they're trying to get Mallory a goal here. She's normally like a center back, like you've discussed, and it looks like they're trying to get her a
Trying to
goal.
feed her one over,
Yep.
but you know what? Good for her. And she's a senior. So,
Yep.
you know.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
You know, Mona Shores, she will have more games, but we don't know the type of the game. So, for example, they have Granville coming up this weekend.
Big school, probably good, higher level competition, I would think.
I would say higher level competition. I didn't really check their record this year, so, you know, but
Sure.
I would assume that they're not too bad. Shot, well, more of a pass by Kenny, getting it back to the middle. And then, you know, we'll have the next 2 rounds of the conference tournament. We will play, Mona Shores will play the winner of Zeeland East and Grand Rapids Union, who are both playing tonight at the same time we were, 6:45, and there it is.
There's the
Mallory
goal.
Hogston got her goal.
Yeah.
And we got the replay on that.
Yes, we
Excellent.
did.
So, good ball. Got the ball coming in. Looks like Harper Robinson put the ball in. Shea Norton over to Mallory, and
Oh, with the left foot, too.
with the left
With
foot,
the left going right. Got it like that.
absolutely, she definitely cut that back across
Yeah.
her body to put it in.
Hey, Cohen, what does Shores supply as far as equipment for soccer? Just the uniform?
Just the uniforms. Yes.
Just the
Yeah.
So you have to buy your own shoes. You
Yep.
have to
Cleats,
like,
shin guards.
oh, and shin guard shoes you have to
Absolutely.
buy.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, there may be opportunities through the club if a player does not have the ability
Yeah,
to pay for
right.
those. They may have sponsors and
Yeah.
that sort of thing
Absolutely.
to help
Yeah.
out. But typically, every player pays for their own cleats and their own shin guards. And
Cohen, then, and Dave, if you play on turf, like in Spring Lake, let's say, do you wear a different type of shoe when you're on turf versus natural glass like here?
so you can. There are distinctions between cleats.
Okay.
Most players don't. It's usually you buy a type of cleat that
Goes both
it works
places.
on both.
Yep.
But there
Okay.
are definitely cleats that are specific to turf and specific to grass.
Sure.
And if you wear them on the opposite, then it'll ruin them a lot faster. But for the most part,
What do you
every
do?
player, I wear the same cleats.
Same cleat.
Yeah. So I don't mess with switching back and forth.
I got you. Okay. What do shin guards run you? A good pair. $50?
No.
Less?
Shin guards are not expensive, and
Oh, they're not?
quite frankly, most players try to find the smallest pair of shin guards they can.
Why is that? Because
They don't
of-
like wearing them.
they don't.
Lots of players complain about comfortability or them messing with their touch or
When I
whatever
was-
it may
yeah.
be. They don't like to wear shin guards, and FIFA regulation just simply says that you have to have a surface in between your sock and your skin. So I know even some of the pros, they actually just put a piece of plastic,
Yeah.
just a thin flimsy piece of plastic, and it covers under the rules.
As something.
Exactly.
Right, sure.
I have teammates who have probably an inch by an inch square that they put in there, just to have it in there and say you can't say that I don't have a shin guard in. So.
Yeah,
Right, I got you.
We had Muskegon bring it to the other side of the field, but Mallory came in and cleaned up. After scoring her goal, she moved back over to center back.
I used to give my running backs at Muskegon shin guards to wear just because, so they wouldn't get kicked and stuff, and double thigh pads,
Yeah.
just so they wouldn't get beat up so much.
Absolute shape. Norton bringing it in.
Oh, look at that!
wow.
Just
Oh, that
nice
was a
little-
nice little play right there. I thought she was going to cross the net, and then she slowed up and just dropped it in.
And that was
It
a
is right here,
good
Dave.
ball over the top as well.
Absolutely. Great ball over the top to Shea, and she just put it in gently.
Is she a
and then-
senior?
She is.
So
Is she?
that goalie was thinking, I think, that the shot was going to be blasted right at her, and it
Yeah.
just calmly went into the side.
And I think that shows a little bit of the inexperience at goalie, obviously, since she isn't a goalie, because her positioning there she wasn't in the right spot to make any play on the ball.
Right.
And you can't
The
blame her
goalie's
if
coming
she's
back
not.
though now. That's good
Yes.
news
Yep, she
for
is back.
Muskegon and for everybody.
She definitely was limping off, so
Yeah. 10:21 counting down here in the opening period. Sailors cuffing up by a dozen.
looks like we moved people around again. Ava Fry over to center back.
She actually used to play center back just a couple years ago. When she was playing for Midwest United, she played center back for that team, and she played it very well. So if they're ever in a pinch, they can always throw her back there and know that.
Absolutely, she's the thing with Ava, she's going to play great anywhere.
Yeah.
Center back.
Yeah.
They use her right now in a mid position, sometimes attacking, sometimes defending mid, but and then you can even move her up high if you need to get a boost for offense.
Yeah, she's a great player.
100%.
Have we come to the point in the game now, up comfortably by a dozen, under 10 minutes remaining, where you would see a lot of, for lack of a better term, second stringers, third kids that don't, and pulling your starters for bigger and better challenges?
Based on how they've been coaching and the subs that they've been doing, it really looks like they've been playing those players the entire game.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily that we're going to see a lot of different players or a lot of players coming in that we haven't seen.
Right.
I think they're just going to keep doing what they're doing.
Right.
And
Another question then. Would you work on, gentlemen, both of you, working on certain scenarios? I want to see X amount of passes before we take a shot. I had to do that when I was coaching basketball at Muskegon, where we were comfortably up. I wanted to see 10 passes, and then we can shoot.
Yeah. So great question. So in the last couple of minutes, what I see is, first of all, we've had a shift, right? We do have some of the starters in there, not many of the seniors.
Okay.
So we've got a mixed group, right? But it looks like we're working on pass possession at this point in time.
Yeah.
And right as I say that, we get a big boot to,
Yeah,
to put
right,
it off
yeah.
the side.
Okay, then, Dave.
But we were really moving the ball around and passing.
So, Dave, let's say here another, and Cohen, another scenario. 5 minutes left in the game. You're up by 2. You've struggled most of the game, and do you work on a, quote, delay? Or do you just keep doing what you're doing that got you your 2-goal lead?
So
Go ahead, Cohen, and then I'll.
lots of times coaches will choose to, if you're not playing well and you're trying to preserve a lead or you're not attacking well, lots of coaches will put you in what's called a low block. So that is where all of the players, or most of the players, will sit back on defense. You'll play a really low line, and you'll keep everything in front of you.
Okay.
Some coaches call it parking the bus.
Look at us.
But in my experience, that's actually one of the worst things to do.
Counterproductive.
Because you lose all momentum. You're constantly being attacked at.
Yeah.
If you're up and you're unless obviously you're just absolutely
Right. Now, I see
exhausted,
just a
but-
lot of passing. We're not even looking at scoring a goal right now.
So
No.
it looks like what we've done is we've gone to the passing possession style, right? We're having everybody get a touch. We're doing this, we're doing that. Now, yes, you can pass time this way. Personally, I just don't like it because this, in better competition, you're not allowed to do that. You don't get the opportunity to do this. It does give you some opportunity for passing, keeping it at people's feet, etc.
So why would you do it then?
The reason.
No,
great question. So
so you would do it just for the sake of doing it, or I mean, there's got to be a reason why he's decided to go prevent.
I would think the reason is because it is 12-0, and I don't know if he's trying to prevent an embarrassment. But to me, this is if I was Muskegon, I would almost find this more embarrassing than losing 15-0. I would still rather play the game of soccer than possession passing.
Yeah.
That's just my personal preference. And kind of,
I'm assuming Muskegon's seen 15-0 scores and 18-0 scores and 12-0 scores. I mean, they've given up 89 goals.
yeah.
And this is tough. And God bless these girls for coming out here. God bless that coach for sticking with them and working with them.
Absolutely.
The only thing I would say, Dave, is that typically you're not going to be able to pass like this, but the hope in playing possession, pass possession, in these scenarios is that you get familiar with it in the game setting so that it does become possible against the better competition, so that when you're playing the best of the best, you're just passing it around them. And maybe that's not going to happen the entire game, but if you can do it for 5-10 minutes in a game, like all added up, that's better than 2-3 minutes.
No, I agree 100%.
Yeah,
it's just, this possession passing isn't necessarily Coach Darga's style. Coach Darga, with some of the team we have, strong defense, lots of speed up front, we play a lot of direct over-the-top ball.
Yeah,
right?
that is very true.
This style doesn't necessarily fit how we normally play. So that's where, in my mind, I'm like, okay, so now we're asking the girls to do something different. And are we going to, I would love if they could come out and play a possession passing style against Granville this weekend, but with better competition, I think we'll probably revert back to playing direct over the top.
Okay, so do you see him possibly thinking, okay, I've got this team coming up, I've got this team coming up, they're really good, we've got to start maybe working on something just in case?
It could always, it's always part of the repertoire. But I'm not using the word right. It just slurred out.
I mean, we haven't even attempted a shot in the last 4 minutes.
No. And like I said, I can get that, and this is good practice for the girls. And Cohen, you said it earlier too. You're hoping, okay, now we've got some experience. We've got some good, solid experience of using it in the game. And the majority of these passes too have been played to the feet of a teammate, right?
Yeah.
There haven't been a whole lot of long balls. A lot of them have been on the ground in a playable position.
But then again, now we're doing this against a team that hasn't won a game, and they're making it look really easy against a Granville, against a Spring Lake, against some other schools. It's not going to be this easy.
No. It will not be this easy.
Right.
And like I said, I give Muskegon credit because I'm also seeing like Muskegon, they're not out there hard fouling any of our players.
Yeah.
No.
They're not out there getting frustrated and taking shots at any of our players. I have to give them all credit for maintaining a very high level of sportsmanship. It's not easy when you get beat after getting beat.
And especially all the time.
Yes.
Every game you show up on game day, we're going to get mercied again.
Yeah.
I had, in my 25 years of being a head coach, I had 2 losing seasons. One was 4-5, and that was my fault because I had 11 guys brought up to the varsity, and I thought, just coming off an undefeated season, I can do this. We'll be out. No, we couldn't. But then one year I was 1-8. We just didn't have a good grade, and that's humbling.
Yeah.
And it's tough to coach, and God bless a coach from Muskegon. She's just holding these girls, and a lot of positive sportsmanship is being shown by Muskegon.
And I hope that it maintains for the last couple minutes of the game.
Oh,
like I said, I do really want to compliment them for how they're handling it.
Sure.
It's definitely not easy.
No.
First of all, guys, that was great. That was great conversation about the different styles and how it's all working together.
Yeah.
But what an example of the type of team Mona Shores has. This team, it's talented. The record's strong. Strong possibility of a good run.
Yeah.
I mean, I would expect them to easily win the conference tournament.
Oh, for
You know,
sure.
and
They
then-
haven't
and then
lost
we'll
a
move on.
conference game since like 2017 or something like that.
Seriously?
I believe so. Yeah.
It's been
that
that long,
yeah,
a 6-year
that I
run
can't-
now?
Yeah,
7-year
I'm
run?
not sure exactly how
Wow.
long it is, but it's been years.
Who's next best in the comp? I would say Puffer, maybe?
You know, usually this year, Zealand West.
Zealand West got
Yeah,
some.
so Puffer is third. And
Okay.
Puffer last year was very senior heavy. And they
Oh,
lost,
okay.
They lost a lot of seniors.
A lot of seniors.
So they just, they're not as good at reloading as like Shores is. You know, and you got to compliment the Mona Shore, the Norton Shores, Muskegon area, you know,
The youth level?
the youth level games, right? You know, whether it be recreation, whether it be travel, there are kids playing.
So, Dave and Cohen, are our coaches, high school coaches, involved in watching, helping the youth level in Norton Shores?
Well, for Coach Darga, not necessarily from a standpoint of coaching, but you know they had a very successful youth
Yes.
night. Was a week or so ago,
It
where
was
they had a lot of
huge.
young people come.
Okay.
And the girls signed autographs. They
Oh, how
ran.
nice.
They ran little. Colin, why am I lacking?
Drills, clinics,
Thank
yeah.
you. They ran little drills. for
Yeah.
Some
kids.
drills?
Yeah, so-
Okay.
and then not just that, but there's also a camp that he runs every summer.
Okay.
So that the Mona Shores
A
soccer
youth
team-
camp, per se,
Yes.
like
Will do a
Shores
youth
does,
camp
like
as
Coach
well.
Koziak does in football.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Nice save right there.
you know,
We're down
so-
to 12 seconds in this first half.
Yeah, no, Darga does a phenomenal job
Does he?
of connecting with the youth, not by coaching them specifically, but by getting them involved in the program.
Now, has
and
Coach Darga been head coach for a while here?
he has. I can't remember how
I'm
many
not
years.
sure exactly how long either, but he does.
Earlier this year, he did get his 100th win.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
he has been around for a while. So even if we say it,
Yeah.
10, 11 wins a year, has
Yeah.
he been around a decade? Very well could be.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. So, Dave, fill us in. We've come to the end of the first period. What's going to happen now?
Well,
That's gonna be-
first, our girls should take an opportunity and celebrate.
Yeah.
They played a good game. I mean, they mixed up the lineups. They did something different, but they scored 12 goals, had lots of opportunities. They'll be playing the winner of Zealand West, Grand Rapids Union, and then they would possibly in the semifinals, and then in the finals. You know, kind of hard to predict, but I would assume, you know, that game would be against either maybe a Reese Puffer or a Zealand West.
Who's hosting this when it comes down to the final two?
When it comes down to the final two, if I looked at it correctly, it is at Mona. It is.
I
here
believe
at
it
Mona
is here, yeah.
Shores.
It is here.
So, and that would be next Tuesday, May 14th, would be the semifinals. And then on Thursday, May 16th, would be the finals.
Guys, maybe we should get with Joe. This was such a quick game. It would be nice. Are you available for any game next week, Dave?
You know, I'm not exactly sure because I can't think more than a day ahead right now. But
Yeah.
it's very possible. I can reach out to Joe, let him know my schedule, and if there's something he wants to look at.
Why don't we do that? Well, we'll talk to Joe because Joe will come up here right now. We can talk to Joe and maybe take care of this. For heaven's sakes, you gotta
Oh,
do-
here we got girls waving at the camera.
Yep.
Girls,
Yeah,
I know you can't hear me. Hope you get a chance to watch it, but
There
great
we
game.
go,
Proud
girls.
of you all.
Great job.
It's great to be able to cheer for such a great program.
Yeah. The
They-
girls are happy. And see, this is why Joe and I and Kim came up with live streaming right here. I mean, this is priceless right here, what the girls are doing and seeing. And then they can go back and watch a game themselves and listen to our dialogue.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Ryan Rizicki can do that too.
How many is that now? Are we up to 500
I
or?
think
No,
we're up
I
to
don't
5.
know because we didn't.
We didn't do any
Yeah.
instant replays, but we did do mentions.
Yes,
So,
we did. But no, Ryan, we want to thank you very much for hosting the instant replay. It's just wonderful that you do that for us. And maybe sometime we could get Ryan up here in the booth. Would be kind of fun.
Absolutely. Tell me.
Yeah.
I'll make it
You know
happen.
what? You know what? If we do another soccer game, let's get him up here.
I will
Okay.
work on making that happen. If we
All
do
right.
another game.
We need to do that. All right, Cohen.
Nick, why don't you take us out of
And
here?
we'll take it out for the best in the business, Kim and Kodas, for Joe Kanukin, the Godfather, for King Cohen, and for our dear with us. First of all, your health is good.
Yes, it is, Nick. Thanks for asking.
Yes, and we're truly blessed to hear that. And I am Nick Davros. If you get a chance, tune in. Our next broadcast is coming up Saturday.
Tomorrow, actually. Sailor Pride Assembly.
Well,
Okay.
Sailor Pride Assembly, right. Our next athletic broadcast is going to be Saturday at 10 o'clock, right across over here. We're just going to head east a little bit to the softball conference where Coach Crago will be joining us for the first game. So, Cohen, get us out of here, baby. You got it.
Well, we showed up for a game against Muskegon, and we expected it to be done in a half, and it was done in a half. They outperformed the last time they played it, and it was good to see some young players in there, so they head on to the next round of the playoffs. So for me, Nick, Dave, Joe, Kimmin, have a good night.